Hello, welcome to another episode of Tech Time Today. I am your host, Jeff Welpley, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about a big conference that I just got back from last week, Brighton SEO. And more specifically, I want to talk about a deeper thing here about AI's impact on SEO and the SEO industry. It's something that I've thought a lot about, things that I think something I've been working on myself. But going to this conference, talking to a lot of people, seeing so many things with the culture of what was going on as a whole in this neck of industry, it was just really interesting and fascinating. I want to talk about a couple different things. So thank you for joining me. Make sure you like and subscribe. Love to hear your comments about this and other things. I'm going to be doing a series of kind of short live streams to talk about a couple topics over the course of the next couple weeks before I have time to get back to some of my more heavily edited content. So I appreciate you joining me. Okay, so last week went to Brighton SEO. It is a big SEO conference. A lot of people, both technical, but also, and actually mostly, I would say, people on the marketing side, people who are working at agencies providing SEO services, so vendors to people who have different SEO related apps. So I found that this particular conference didn't have as many of publishers, which is, I guess, the category that I'm in with Get Human, that we have a website that provides free content and services and utilizes SEO. And I'm sort of in the SEO industry. I'm like in-house SEO, even though obviously I do a lot more, but like I'm just talking about from the SEO industry prism of things and how like would have to talk to other people at this type of conference. So I was in the minority basically of most of the attendees, I would say. And it was just really fascinating. So actually, before I get into like the core topic of how AI is affecting SEO in the SEO industry, just a quick thing on the conference as a whole, because I've been to many different conferences. I've spoken at many technical conferences, and it was nice, first of all, to not have to speak and just kind of attend and enjoy it. Like, so I don't do that very often, and so I did definitely enjoy that. But Brighton SEO, very well organized. Like the guy who organized it, Kelvin, nice guy, super personable, reaches out to everybody through socials and make sure that everything is going well. So like kudos to them. I think that it was pulled off well. The venue was also great at the Grand Hyatt in San Diego. I mean, it's the fall, like in Boston here, it's pretty nice weather as well. But in San Diego, it's just like so beautiful. And the venue is right on the water. All of that, absolutely great. The other thing was great. They did a really good job of setting up the sort of peripheral stuff that goes on with the conference, that there's all these different social things. I didn't necessarily participate in all of them, but they had like, if you wanted to do a run with a bunch of people and meet them, if you wanted to do these different dinners or whatever. So like, actually that was really, really great. And even though I didn't necessarily participate in all of that, I saw that they were doing that. I know a lot of other people that did it and liked it a lot. So all that great. I think the biggest gripe I had, and this leads into my overall commentary on AI and SEO and the SEO industry, is that it was really jarring almost to listen to so many talks where this is from my perspective, but I got the sense that everybody was pretty much struggling to find the direction. And it's not surprising, because SEO at its core is changing. and this speaks to the core content I want to get to, that like, okay, I'll circle back to some of the talks and the sort of issues I had with that. But this originates from the fact that at its core, SEO is marketing. It is a form of marketing. It is a way of customer acquisition channel. People use search engines, try to align what is good about a product, service online on the web with how people are searching for it on mostly on Google, but Bing and other ones. And now it's sort of expanded to a lot of the LLM interfaces, ChatGPT and Claude and everything else. And so it's going through a period of transition because Google themselves, just to take one, has changed so much about not only the underlying algorithm for how sites are ranked, but even so much about the user interface to integrate a lot of these different AI features with AI mode, with a bunch of other things. And the things that had worked for like a decade. I mean, there's always been changes in the SEO world, always, but it's evolved slower. The pace has been one that I think people had gotten used to, that like, oh, okay, the search algorithm would change in this way or that way. And okay, like every year there would be one or two things. And I feel like at conferences like this, it would be helpful because the learning, the way that the schedule would go for like when the search engine would change something, people would learn from it. And then at like a conference like this, you would have the people who are on the sort of edge of figuring things out, who would have like a lot of actionable things to be like, okay, this change happened, we figured out these things, this is the new way of doing things, right? But the problem is that things are changing so quickly and in ways that are not necessarily able to be predicted, or ways that people thought, and that there's nobody who's experts. Nobody truly knows what people should be doing. And so what you have is a bunch of people who are trying to give talks about their experiences, which is good, but they can only provide, even in the best case scenario, they can maybe provide like a couple good things for you to focus on. But even the best case, I mean, there was a guy from the Bing team who was speaking there, who should have been like the source of truth, like much more so than anybody else, because he's on the other side of it, right? Like he's on the search engine side. And he did have a couple of, he was one of the better talks, in my opinion, gave a couple things. But even he was very reserved, very much, because this leads back to Google I/O, which I went to in the spring and talked to a number of the Google search team members. And the impression I got there, and in this case, is that even the search engine providers themselves and the AI companies, they don't necessarily know exactly how things are going to play out. They are all just focused on trying to win this battle, of this arms race of who's going to be the best provider for AI related services. And they can't predict like, okay, this is exactly how things are going to be in a couple of years. Like literally no one is saying that. Like, and there's this thought sometimes from the outside, like just getting back to the SEO stuff, that like, oh, just to give you a specific example, like Google has this some strategic plan, and we need to like reverse engineer and figure out where they're going. But when the reality is that they don't necessarily know, then it's impossible. If you do make a prediction, you're making a prediction that like they don't even know about or whatever. So it's so all that uncertainty comes out in these talks. So like I don't necessarily blame them, but this conference was one in which almost every talk I heard had so much uncertainty in it, and uh, hopefully it's something that is a product of time and isn't just like a product of this conference. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think it is more of just the state of where we're at. So I actually think it'd be more valuable to focus on um, more actionable stuff, uh, even if it's a smaller amount, and not try to like talk about specifics. If you were giving a talk um, or in any situation, uh, and I felt like people were trying to stretch, like because they felt like they had to say certain things, and the way it came off is that not only the uncertainty, but that speaking in a lot of more higher level kind of platitudes, which always is. I'll link to a couple of them to give some examples that probably could have come off better if things were more certain, or if they were able to kind of like focus on like maybe like a tighter set of things. So what I wanted to do as kind of a result of my unsatisfied, not being satisfied with what I got from that side of things with this particular conference, is I kind of want to do my own version where like I focus on the things that I think do make a lot of sense and which have been, I think, proven to be very valuable if you are still trying to use SEO, use content marketing as a channel to acquire customers. What are truly the things in the current landscape that matter? So I'm not going to go over those today. I just want to kind of give today a quick kind of overview of Brighton SEO and some of my higher level thoughts. But next Wednesday, actually, I have a tech time scheduled recording with one of my friends, Alejandro, who is a fellow GDE from Miami. He was interested in talking about this, and so I'm going to prepare and we'll do like a more edited version of this that does go over from my side some of the important like things that I think hopefully all of you can take away and is more actionable and all of that. So keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching this quick live stream, and I'll see you again next time.